everybody, welcome back to the game that keeps trying to fuck with my brain and give me existential crises? What is even going on with this, man?
Can I just point out, okay?
Yeah?
The title of this entire, of their little group chapter deal is Of Cleanliness and Clownliness.
Yeah.
And that's reminiscent of the phrase that cleanliness is next to godliness, I think.
Yeah, I kept thinking that cleanliness and clownliness was, like, similar to something. I couldn't place it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking it was more word for word, like, of somethingness and somethingness. Like, more exact phrasing is what stopped me from connecting the...
But anyway.
Oh, this is weird.
Let's go get whatever the other ending is, good or bad or neutral.
Yeah, we don't even...
fully grasp if we got the good ending or not.
Yeah, 'cause it's just fucking confusing and...
Boom, 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 boom. Grab him by his coattails.
Do not attack them. What are you... You leap forward and grab Karako by the coattails. He doesn't have a coat. Or by his belt. You aren't actually sure what a coattail is. Jesus, he's strong. You can barely hold him. It's like trying to restrain a small truck. It's funny because I also don't... It's like I think I know what coattails are. So I started to say I don't know what a coattail even is.
It's just like on a fancy dress coat thing that has like a thing at the back that hangs low.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was. Like the funny little...
The coattail.
It's like a tail... It's literally a tail.
Yeah.
Anyway. His legs rotate wildly, kicking in a cloud of dust, and he brandishes his bladed weapons wildly in the direction of the Sea Dwellers. After a startled moment in which they jump backwards, the Sea Dwellers have started to laugh again, coming up with more stupid insults and fish puns. This is not helping. Karako runs twice as hard, honking twice as loud, shakes his weapons twice as threateningly. Hey! You shout at Karako, trying to be heard above the fracas, holding on with all your might and digging in your heels. You have half a mind to just let him go, to pay the Sea Dwellers back for their insults, but you try to keep a cool head. You're doing your proto-friend much more good trying to restrain his wrath. You've now succeeded in grappling your arms all the way around him,
How did you get grappling out of rapping?
Shut up. And now you get in front of him, holding him back with straight arms. I mean, grappling and rappling in this context are kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's fine. Anyway, bellowing soothingly into his face and trying to avoid the bladed weapons he is brandishing. But it's not working. You can see from the contorted features, the bared teeth, the distended nostrils with smoke coming out, the blazing eyes, that Karako is getting more and more enraged. Is there something with the... Are they intentionally capitalizing it sometimes? Does this capitalization mean something?
I'm not clear. Like, it seems like... I don't know.
Did you have something?
I was about to say, like, it seemed like maybe that's like when he's getting fucking pissed, they were capitalizing it, but the first time you said they did it was back whenever the drone thing was bugging you, so I don't remember if that was a thing or not.
I don't know. And suddenly his rage seems to reach a kindling point?
Cool.
His body vibrates violently, his eyes grow huge and round. And suddenly, from his body, something like a nuclear blast pressure wave of fear and violence sends you flying through the air like a scrap of paper in a gale. What the fuck? Are you hallucinating? What? What did we just... Did you just fling us off?
He exploded with power.
But you can see as you soar up above the path that the Sea Dwellers aren't laughing anymore. In fact, they're screaming in terror and fleeing wildly, blundering into razor leaves, being impaled by spring thorns and burned by pod acid, and generally receiving the stern retribution that awaits assholes. Good! I hope they die. Then your head collides with a tree branch and you are rendered unable to narrate for a while.
Cool.
Ooh. Dot, dot, dot.
Long while.
Oh, there he is! You wake up lying in the dust. As consciousness returns, you realize that you're lying on the path, and as it returns further, that a small clown-painted figure is seated next to you, quite calm now. He smiles fondly as he sees you sit up. Honk! You smile in return. You express relief that he realizes that you are acting in his best interests, holding him back from the Finheads. And now, though largely because of his unexpected burst of clown sorcery, or whatever that was, everything has turned out for the best. Carrico holds up his arms for a hug, but then remembering the bladed weapons in his belt, sticks out his hand. You shake it warmly. Aww.
Yay, actual friendship.
But there's no text on this one.
Eh,
That's suspicious.
I don't think it is.
There's something wrong with that. But anyway. Hooray! Nobody died! And I wasn't given an existential crisis. And just, I mean, the Sea Dwellers might have died, and if they did, then good. 'Cause fuck those guys. They were jerks.
I find it rather interesting that, like, he, like, that, one, you were actually able to detain him, more or less.
Yeah.
But that, two, like, you doing so built up some weird limit break meter in him.
Yeah.
Whereas getting stabbed by the fishes did not.
Well, I mean, he was already, like, I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of sort of makes sense, but just, I don't know.
Because the stabbing injured him, and he died before his meter maxed out or something.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, that was cool.
I halfway expected the narration to do something weird like it did in Boulder's Route, just right there at the end. Like, no, you actually, the dying route was the good one.
Clown church is real. Or clown heaven. Seriously, I would not want to be carried by mannequins and put on a floating carousel.
Really?
Yeah, really. That's freaking... as far as I know, I'm not afraid of mannequins, but the thought of mannequins descending from on high and carrying me anywhere bothers me, I'll be honest.
It's funny though, because they called you Slenderman.
Yeah.
And Slenderman's kind of mannequin-like, but also there was that thing where he had his his sassy gay cousin Trenderman, who actually was a mannequin.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. I will say I prefer the dream bubble idea of afterlife to clown church, but the clown carousel thing, you don't know what I'm talking about with the dream bubbles.
Nope.
But I don't know, not the worst afterlife thing I've ever heard of, even though it sounds like you just kind of sleep on a merry-go-round forever.
I mean, sleeping's cool. I'm down with that. Just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe you just sleep until you've rested a bit, and then you go wander off into the carnival or something. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I like carnivals, though, so.
And I'm indifferent to them.
Anyway.
That was a short episode.
Carrico's fucking precious, oh my god.
Is he your son?
Yes. And
I think Brona might take issue with that.
I don't fucking care.
Is she gonna have to fight you for him?
I mean, on the one hand, yes. But on the other hand, I mean, Bronya and Skyla are both, like, ultimate waifu or whatever. So, I don't know how to phrase this. I don't want to marry Bronya, but we could both be his mom. That's fine. Or something. That phrasing is dumb.
I'm sorry, did you honestly just say that Bronya and Skyla were both ultimate waifu?
Yes.
By
If you disagree...
what standard?
by any person who has reasonable census standards.
I mean, why? Because they're like literally the most good and nurturing characters we have encountered, or what?
You phrase that as if that's... Dude, yeah, that's like a good reason to... That is a point towards them being
Okay, but
excellent wives and mother type characters. What is your point?
But that's their only points. They're both boring characters otherwise.
Skyla is a fucking badass. What the fuck are you talking about? And like Bronya's like, I mean, do we get to see her fight? I don't think we got to see her fight, but she is really good at managing stuff. And I don't know, they're both tough and cool, and I don't know. I like them. Fuck you.
Well, okay.
I will defend them with the fucking.
Go back to having existential crises.
No, I didn't like it. I don't like it when this game gives me fucking crises. Crises. It's not fun.
I mean, it's fun from the outside looking in.
Fuck you. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so, bye. Honk.